Alright, we're live. Hopefully, I will not show feet today. Not that I do show feet, but once in a while, it can happen without reaching 100,000 subscribers, by the way. So, this is a conversation which I had with many people after I released a video. And every single person that I spoke to either doesn't want to understand my point and is traumatic me, or, even better, like, I go from point A and they agree with it, point B, they agree with it, point C, they agree with it, but then they don't agree with A, B, C. So we're going to talk about that. Speaking about the LGBT flag, like, I want to show you guys something cool. There's a new flag which dropped recently. I don't know if it's a joke or not, but it's from a blue check mark, if that matters anywhere. You know, like, did it ever matter? Look at this beauty. I love it. I so feel represented. Holy shit. Highlighting the marginalized. Like, I don't even understand. What does marginalized mean? Like, what is the definition of someone that's marginalized? Like, if you already are represented by a flag, if every corporation has your flag, if the US Embassy has your flag, if the government represents you, if there's corporations hiring diversity officers paid tens of thousands of dollars specifically to hire you, how are you marginalized? Like, can I be marginalized? I want to be marginalized. Chat, marginalize me, please. Please, chat. Please put me in the margin. I do not want to be on the center anymore. Marginalized. Extremists, right? Because, like, the margin is the center, and marginalized means far left or far right. That's what marginalized means. Like, far left or far right. Oh, finally, I figured it out. Holy shit. It took me a while, but eventually it came to me. Oh, God. It's not even that. Like, you can't even say marginalized, I'm a victim. You're a victim of what? Like, how? It's 2022, alright? Like, it's not the 1940s anymore. Like, time moved on. Just like the subject of this video, right? Like, pre-ordering has changed in 2022 than it used to be in 2016 or 2014. Like, things are different. I do not understand. You have refund. You literally, you can change your mind. At any point, you can play the game for 2 fucking hours. You can play the game for 2 fucking... That's better than any review. Like, literally, you can play the game for 2 hours. It's better than any review, what anyone can say, what anyone can do. You get to take the game, you open it, you play it for 2 hours, you don't like it, you get your money back. Tell me, where is the problem? Where? What is the issue? Oh, and you're enabling. You're enabling. How the fuck am I enabling something which is industry standard at this point? Like it's so easy for companies to make a pre-order. Like, the moment you put your game on Steam, you have the ability to just click a button and it's pre-ordering. Even if no one would pre-order tomorrow, even if no one would pre-order anymore, they would still fucking do it. It doesn't take them enough just to click a button. That's it. Like, they have to click a button. And it's all done. Holy shit, at least, please, for the love of God, come with the times, alright? And say, early access is bad. Yeah, like, for example, I know people who purchased Baldur's Gate, right? And they didn't like the decision of the devs to change a couple of things in the lore. They introduced a character which is like they, them, I think, you know. And some people didn't like that. You know, like, if you want to be political, that's fine. You know, I'm pretty sure some people did like that, but some people didn't. And they want to pre-order, they want a refund. But they can't do a refund. Why? Because the game is early access, right? So they already played for hours and now they can't refund it. So my advice is, yeah, like, do not buy games that you can't refund, right? Like, do not buy games from PlayStation. Do not buy games from other places that do not allow for refunds. And do not buy early access. But you have refunds! You literally get your money back! Like, I don't understand where the people are sparking out about this. And another one, you know, like, it's like, refund gives you the money back, but it allows the company to use the money somewhere else. Companies are not like banks. Like, they don't invest your money immediately and they make like 50% of a profit. If anything, you can fuck with the company really hard. Like, I know insiders, because this is why I even made the video. Like, I had developers that were on the inside, and they told me, if a game gets like 20% refunds, the entire dev team gets fired. Like, it scares investors. Now you put the company into debt. Like, they invested the money, right? So, like, they got the money for pre-orders. They invested it. Now let's say they get 20% of pre-order refunded. that hurts them a lot more than if they wouldn't get anything. Because now they're stuck with that money, like they put it somewhere else. And now they have to pay it back to the customer. It's really difficult. Like the Warcraft 3 Reforged team, for example, was sacked because of the refunds. Right? Like you literally punish developers. You can get them fired for doing a bad job. And like sometimes it's not their fault. But you're really terrorizing the publishers if you refund. And of course, it doesn't happen like if one person refunds. But if it's a bad game, like Warcraft 3 Reforged, right? And it's an objectively bad game. Everyone is playing it. Everyone is refunding. It sends a powerful message to the company. Same thing happened with Cyberpunk. Right? Like, when you actually... Because the thing is, like... If you have a legitimately bad game that's broken on launch, right? Like, I don't believe every game should be warranted a refund. Like, if I play a game and I say, all right, well, I paid, I don't know, $50 for it. And it's entertaining enough to the point where I say, yeah, like, this is warranted $50. It's not a great game, right? But it's a game that's okay. I like it. I don't refund it. Like, I refund games that are broken or games that have, like, someone from the company say something really overtly political that pisses me off. But other than that, I genuinely, like, know what I want. The thing is, like, you're in 2022 now, right? You're not in 2016. You have so much information available to make a smart purchase. It's unreal. Like, I don't remember the last time I purchased something and I was like, holy shit, I really regret buying this. You got YouTubers that you can trust. Right? Like, obviously, you're not going to trust the really big YouTubers that have corporate relationships and, they get, like, early access. Like, no, not those. But you have YouTubers that you trust. You have the Steam forums. You have word of mouth. You have 4chan. You have, like, so many places where you can go and get informed on a game. And then you can play it for 2 fucking hours yourself. And if you don't like it, you refund it. I genuinely, like, do not understand. This mentality that pre-ordering is bad and you should shame anyone that pre-orders is from 2016. And back then I understood, because you don't have a refund. Like in 2016, you could have pre-ordered the game, and you could find out that it's shit, but you're stuck with the purchase. There's nothing you can do anymore, right? Like, it's gone. Like, your money is gone. So, it didn't make sense back then. But now, again, you can play it for 2 fucking hours for free, theoretically, once you made the down payment. And if you don't want it, you get the refund. Smart people knew before 2016. Things have changed since 2016. The world has not stayed the same. Things have modified. In 2016, not available. You did not have refunds. How can I explain it to this kid? He doesn't understand it. He just doesn't fathom the fact that we have reached into a new era of beauty and technology where you can just, with the click of a button, Steam gives you your money back. I mean, look, I don't know what else to tell you. Yes, people have figured out in 2016 that pre-ordering is bad when they couldn't get a refund on their money. Holy shit. Most games are fine for 2 hours, and then they're repetitive and bad. Man, if you enjoy a game for like 2 hours, like you literally enjoy a game for 2 hours, and you don't see a problem with it, I don't think like refunding would be an issue. Like, I think you'd have bought it anyway. Like, let's be honest, like, how many times did it happen to you that you're, like, playing the first 2 hours? Like, here's the thing. If you can literally play the game yourself for 2 hours, and you're having fun, do you honestly think that if you were to watch some YouTuber do a review of the game, or like, someone on Steam tell you about the game, and you'd be like, oh, well, no, clearly this is not for me. Like, you literally played it yourself for 2 hours and you liked it to the point where you didn't want a refund. Like, I don't think you would have made a different decision then. Like, if you really want to be upset about something which is happening in the video gaming industry, is digital ownership of games. And gaming as a service. Like, this is actually something that's really bad. Right? Like, the idea that you don't own your games anymore, that at any point, Steam can just shut down its servers and you lose thousands of dollars in investment. Probably even tens of thousands for some of you. Like, if you bought games over the course of many years, over the course of a decade. Like, that is literally a problem. The fact that, like, someone chooses to pre-order a game, which you can play for 2 hours and then refund it, I don't understand. Like, I literally... Early access is another issue, right? Like, early access, I completely agree. I do not want to encourage that. Bad practice. Like the idea you can buy a game that may never be finished, or that you can buy a game and the developers can then change it completely, right? Like that. Those are legitimate concerns. Yeah, like the early access in 2022 is the pre-order from 2016. If you buy early access, you will never be able to refund. So I do agree with that aspect, right? Like early access is definitely bad. I guess with the difference, like if you legitimately like really like the early access itself, like you know what the game is about, and you're like, okay, well this is early access, but I really like the game. Like I really enjoy, you know, like if this is the finished product, this early access would be the finished product, I would buy the game anyway. Okay, fine. But like for example, Baldur's Gate 3 is the worst offender. I mean, it's in early access for like what, 2 years? It's a AAA game. Like fuck that shit. And it shows disrespect to the community. They don't listen to feedback. But even worse is that if you play it, you can't refund it. So and it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was almost at full price. So you buy an early access game at full price. That is what's disgusting. Like definitely, early access is the cancer in video gaming. Like early access is the pre-release of the past. Yeah, like a pre-order now. A pre-order now would have been buying early access games. Like that is the equivalent. Because you can't refund them. And then the developers can just drop them or can take them into a direction that you don't like. Stellaris, perfect example. Like Stellaris wasn't early access, but Stellaris had a patch which completely changed the gameplay. A completely new game with one patch. And I don't think that is okay. You know, like I genuinely do not like that. If you buy a game that you like, and then there's a patch which you have to install, like there's no choice. You gotta install it. And once you install the patch, it's a different game. Like for some people, maybe it's good. Like some people might enjoy that. But what about the people who don't? What about the people who watch the reviews, play the game, like the game for what it was, and then you have a patch which completely changes the dynamics and the gameplay, right? I do think there is a case to be made there. Early access is far above pre-orders. Well, early access is what pre-orders used to be, right? Like, this is my whole argument, which people don't want me to, which people don't seem to understand. Like, maybe I'm not clear at explaining, right? In 2016, if you pre-ordered, you couldn't get a refund. In 2022, not only can you get a refund, but you can play the game for 2 hours, right? You can experience the game yourself for 2 hours. And on top of that, if many people refund, the developers get punished. Like the investors get upset if they notice like a 10% or a 20% refund. Right? Like that is really bad. And that means that the developers fucked up. So they get fired. Like you're literally scaring them into making sure that they make a good product. It's a lot worse for them if they didn't get any pre-order sales than if they got pre-order sales and then people refunded. You didn't notice with Stellaris? Maybe you didn't play it in the beginning, man. Like it was a different game in the beginning. And then a patch came. And it completely changed, if I remember correctly, it was not just the way the weapons and the armor worked, but it was also the way the ship traveling worked. So in the beginning, it was a lot different. Games as a service is a fraud, and I'm supposed to see a YouTube video right now. Let's see. Let's look at this. Games as a service, which is a fraud. I mean, look, man, if I'm in the middle of a live stream, right? And I'm talking to people, I'm talking to all the Ushikushi members of the chat, and you're giving me a YouTube video of this gentleman. I've never seen him before, but he's bigger than me. Holy shit, I should have known about him. Right? He's smiling at me. Why is he smiling? Why is he smiling at me? Look at a little bit intimidated. But, right, I see this handsome devil here, but he's talking for 1 hour and 15 minutes. How the fuck do you want me to go through a live stream and address the concerns that this gentleman by the name of Accursed Farms is bringing up in 1 hour and 15 minutes? I'm pretty sure they're valid concerns. I'm not dismissing him. But like, dude, during a live stream, I need to engage with chat. Is the Gordon Mine guy? I know the Gordon Mine guy. Okay, now I know who he is. I have seen the videos with the Gordon Mine. I know. This is why I didn't know him, because I know the voice. Watch the whole thing. Yeah, I'm going to watch 1 hour and 16 minutes. Holy shit. No, the Incredible Freeman's Mind. Yeah, I know that. That's good shit. I now know who he is. Fuck it. I tend to agree with V on this. It was bad when you couldn't refund. Now it's not as bad. I don't see the downside. Like, literally, I don't see the downside. Someone said, oh, well, what if you need the money, right? So, like, what if you spend the money on a video game? Like, let's say I would buy now Diablo 4. All right, well, not Diablo 4, because you can't refund that one. My argument only works for games you can refund. Okay, if you can't refund the game, don't fucking buy it. Simple as. But let's say I'm buying Street Fighter 6. Okay, like, you can actually buy Street Fighter 6 now. So I'm pre-ordering it. And next month, my cat gets sick. I need the money. Do you know what I do? I get a refund for Street Fighter 6. Bam, I have the money. Like, it's literally just that simple. But there's even more. Like, you get to play 2 hours of Street Fighter 6. You get to see what it's about. If you don't like it, you get a refund. Please explain to me what is the disadvantage. Like, how exactly... And on top of that, I'm a person that doesn't save money really well. Like, I'm not really good with saving money, right? So, if I have money now, let's say I have $60 now for a game, I may not have it next month when the game is out, so I just put it in there. Yeah, if I need it, I pull it out. I don't understand where the disadvantage is. I literally don't. Like, please explain. If I see a single person in the chat elaborate a coherent argument on how am I suffering for doing this, like, what is it on my end that I think I will... Like how exactly I'm in a net negative? Sure. How about you wait a year, buy it for cheap and then refund it? Man, calm the fuck on. First of all, I'm a streamer. Like, most of the times I need to be in the know with this shit. Like, I can actually make money off of a game. You know, like, if you're in a position where you can make money off of a game, that's a completely different discussion. Like, I don't judge streamers for buying shit games. Like, if I see Pipkin Pippa purchasing, I don't know, Diablo 4, right? Pipkin Pippa makes money off of Diablo 4. Like, she is going to stream, she's going to get super chats. She's going to get more money for playing that game than if she doesn't buy. So, like, for her, it's a business investment. It's not, right? But like, waiting 1 year to buy video games... I mean, I guess, you know, I'm not going to judge how much money some people have, but I think it's a little bit extreme. Sure, it depends on your computer, your specs. But, you know, I'm not the type of person that waits 1 year. If I wait 1 year to play a video game, I will be inundated by spoilers. I would know everything that happens. You know, it is what it is. Consume product, get excited for next product. What next product? What next fucking product? How many games came out this year? How many games? I think there's like 4 or 5. You get 5 games a year now. And you don't get excited for it. Like, maybe you get like a little bit excited for one of them. Like, maybe there is one game that tickles your fancy. But other than that, there's no more fucking games. Buy product, get excited for next one. What next product? Please tell me. I want to know. What is the next product coming out? What is the next movie you want to see? What is the next video game you want to play? Like, tell me so I can know. Because I can't tell you shit. Yeah, next product is a prequel or a sequel. Literally. There is no more next product. V only thinks only 44 to 5 games came out the entire year. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic right now. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you can't compare 2022 with the amount of games that were coming out in 2014. Like, back in the day, you had like 3 games coming out a month. I don't even fucking know what games I played this year that were memorable. Like, maybe I played 4 or 5. Like, sure, there are more than that came out. But like 4 or 5 games that literally stuck with me, and that's it. And I guarantee to you, I'll forget about them in 2 years. Like, there is no more, like, get excited for the next product. There is no next product. Imagine waiting a year for Elden Ring. You didn't pre-order, and now everything is already shown and sold for you. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Like, there are people like myself which literally can't help. I literally can't help myself, right? So, I would go online and I would look for solutions and tutorials and shit. When you play it, when the game comes out, like, there's no tutorials. There's barely anything, right? Like, people are still discovering stuff. But if I were to play Elden Ring now, I mean, like, I can go on the Wikipedia and it tells me all the secrets, all of the things, all of the endings, all of it. Right? Creativity is dead. Yeah. Unfortunately. Everything is in a subscription model. Not really. I mean, most video games don't try to do that. Like what video games you have a subscription model for except World of Warcraft, which is like a bizarre thing. I don't even know why people pay a subscription fee for World of Warcraft anymore. I guess it's because it's cheap, right? Because like they never upped the subscription fee. Is it still $15 to play it? Like back then when World of Warcraft came out, for me it was a lot of fucking money. But now it's like, meh. It's like Netflix. I mean, it's still something. You still pay. I mean, sure, money is money, but it's not like back then, before inflation. Like back then, it was kind of like $100 for me. You know, like thinking back, didn't have a wage, had to ask money from mommy and daddy. Everything V. Even if you subscribe to them, releasing patches for games to work. Oh, I was thinking, you mean like paying a monthly subscription. But if you want like gaming as a service, as in like you keep getting patches and patches, yeah, sure. You can't play offline. I mean, that's where the industry is moving right now, right? Like you won't be able to just be off the internet and play your fucking video games. There may be a couple that you can, but overwhelmingly no. Like most games require an online connection. Like that is a bigger cancer than pre-orders ever were. And the level of control that they can give to you is astonishing. I'm lucky that I'm in the European Union. Like, surprisingly, when it comes to the European Union, you have a lot of consumer rights. So there were a couple of cases where Steam tried to ban the gaming library of, I believe it was a Russian and another Eastern European, and they sued Steam and won. It was over a mod. Like the guy... So the Russian guy, I believe, called a Steam moderator the N-word, and the Steam moderator just terminated his entire gaming library, right? So he had games that he purchased with his own money, and now he couldn't access. So he sued Steam. Now, in order to sue Steam from Eastern Europe, as well as Russia, it's very easy. Because our governments, they have this team of lawyers that are paid by the state, and you just go there and you write the complaint. Like, you don't have to show for the lawsuit, you don't, right? Like, they do everything for you. If a company, or a commercial entity violates your consumer's rights, you go to this place that the government has made, right? You file a complaint, and then the government uses the team of lawyers and sues on your behalf. So they actually did that to Steam, and the guy had his account reinstated. 2 hours is too short to judge these games. I guess, like, you know, this was a conversation in the beginning, where it's like, okay, 2 hours is too short to judge these games. If you make it more than 2 hours, like Arch wanted, I don't know, like a month or something, I mean, there will be people that legitimately finish a game. So let's say you have a game that's single player only, right? And maybe it's not even a good game. Like, maybe it's a game that's mediocre. Right? So, okay, this one that came out recently, not Dead Space, Callisto Project, right? So Callisto Project is a mediocre game if you play it on PlayStation. I heard that on PC it's broken. But it's so broken that you would get a refund in 2 hours, right? So if I were to play Callisto Project on PC, and I notice all the glitches and the problems that I have with it, I would just get a refund. So that wouldn't be a problem. But on PlayStation it works. But the problem is, like, the game has a combat mechanic which removes the horror from it. Like, everything is melee, and it's very easy. Like, all you have to do is to hold the left button and then you move, and you hold the right button and lift, and your character just goes into Ultra Super Saiyan, Ultra Instinct mode, you know, dodges everything. So the game is very easy, and it removes the horror. Now, I wouldn't, if I was to be able to refund that game after you finish it, why wouldn't you? Like, you already finished it, there's no replayability, there's nothing else to do, right? Like, why not get your money back? So I can understand, like, why some people wouldn't want, like, for you to have the ability to refund the game after you actually finished it. Callisto Protocol, yeah. Callisto Prototype, I don't know. But like at the end of the day, I would say it's a mediocre game because despite the fact that the game doesn't have the best gameplay, the atmosphere was nice. It looked pretty, you know, I mean, looks pretty. What can I say? The atmosphere was nice. I did enjoy, like, if you play it with that stick, with the controller, and it vibrates in your hand, it's kind of cool, like, you know, when you swing that electric baton. But it's mediocre, right? Like, I mean, it's kind of like a popcorn flick, I guess. It's kind of like watching Transformers, the movie. I mean, it's shit, but, you know, you're not leaving the cinema either. Right? So, like, these types of games, like, they would get refunded. I don't think it's fair. Right? Like, it should be like in a cinema. Like, if you're walking out of the cinema before the movie is over, then you should get a refund. But if you're staying through the whole movie, and then you want a refund, and you say, well, I didn't like Transformers, it's like, well, tough shit. You stood through the entire movie. It's kind of like a restaurant. You know, like at a restaurant, if they bring you food, and you take a few bites, and you're like, no, this food is bad. Please take it back, right? Versus, they bring you food, and you eat the whole plate, and then you're like, well, you know, I didn't like the food, which maybe you didn't. Like, maybe it was bad food, but you fucking ate it. So, but I don't know, like, what game would you not be able to judge in 2 hours? Like, how often does that happen? So, not only do you have, like, the ability to watch Let's Plays that are usually released before the game is launched, you get to watch YouTubers that you trust, you get to go on the Steam forums, you get to see the trailers and everything that the company puts out, and then you get to play the game for 2 hours, and you're saying that's still not enough? Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess if it's like, this actually happened to me, and Steam actually refunded me on this. So, I bought a game, and it was a bad port. I forgot what game it was. It happened a little bit ago. But it was a very bad PlayStation port. And it took me more than an hour to figure out how to set the controls. Like, it was really bad. So, because of that, I played the game for 3 hours. And then I wanted a refund. And I said, look, like, this just doesn't work for me. The PlayStation port is really bad. The controls are very difficult to map. And I spent 3 hours because I spent most of the time in the controls. I got a refund from Steam. Right? Like, despite the fact that I spent more than 2 hours, I wrote an elaborate message, they still gave me a refund. Trailers lie. You make videos about it. Yeah, if I can spot the lie, so can you. Like, you're not supposed to look at a trailer and believe everything from it. Right? Like, if I can... The thing is, like, if I have the ability to spot a shit game before buying it, so can you. I don't understand, like, your idea. It's like trailers are bad. Yes, they are. But you don't take the trailer by itself. You take the trailer, you take the YouTube reviewer that you trust, you take word of mouth from people that you trust, you look at the Steam forums, and then you make the decision. The next game I want to buy, I will pre-order in your name. I'll invoke your name with incense and candles while I click the like button. If you have a tingling feeling, you'll know that worked. You probably pissed off a couple of people in the chat. You probably pissed off a couple of people in the chat with that, but what can you do? Early access keys are given to game journalists and YouTubers. Yeah, but like even okay, let me tell you about early access, right? So, Overwatch 2, right? Overwatch 2 comes out, and I see all these streamers. It's like, oh, you play Overwatch 2, and you get this beta key. Like if you watch Asmongold play Overwatch 2 for 4 hours, you're going to get your own beta key, and then you're going to have fun. Going to have fun in Overwatch. So I'm watching Asmongold, right? I don't even care what he says. I don't watch him for 4 hours. But I look at the game with my own fucking eyes, and I can see it's shit. Right? I'm looking at it, and I'm like, in my brain, I don't care what Asmongold has to say. I don't care what he flaps his mouth. I'm looking at the screen, and I'm saying, okay, where's the new characters? What changed? What's new in this game? Why should I pay for it? Right? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, this is a shit game. You can have, like, Asmongold, he wasn't, but there were other streamers that were pogging, and they were excited, and it's like, oh my fucking god, it's so great, it's so amazing. But I'm looking at the screen, and I'm like, okay, but like, nothing that I see with my own fucking eyes can convince me to buy this game. It's shit. In every way, shape, or form, this game is shit. There's nothing in it. Right? So like this is how you need to think. You don't watch the trailer or you watch the YouTuber and you're like, oh my god. Okay, another game. Victoria 2. With Victoria 2, okay, if you're into those LGBT games that are the grand strategy games, right? So you like those? Okay, fine. I understand that with Victoria 2, you would not be able to say if it's a good game or not in 2 hours, right? Because it's like a very complex game. But I have YouTubers that I trust. And I see Arch Warhammer. Now, Arch Warhammer makes a video. And he explains, he elaborates why the game is shit. Like, he has this leaked version that he shows it to the public. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to buy it. How the fuck did I do that Victoria 2 is a bad game? How did I do to refund my pre-order? How, chat? How did I make this miracle? How did I manage? Am I a Superman? Do I manage to outthink everyone? All I'll say is that due to the political natures of Fordia, Scat Francisco is what you should call it. Getting any game early is risky. A safe way is to wait 3-6 months. Watch plays and reviews, then dive in. Who does that though? Like, who waits 3-6 months? It depends on the game, I guess. Like, but if it's like Elden Ring, are you going to wait 3-6 months? Like, chances are, like, there was no other game for 3-6 months, because that's the problem, right? There's a drought when it comes to video games. So you're already waiting 6 months with no games to play, and then something comes out, and you want to wait 6 more months. I mean, okay, I get it. It depends on your finances, I suppose. Like, if you genuinely do not have money, and you're in a tight pinch, then why are we talking about you buying video games? Naruhodo? I want to be like, emotional role-playing with the AI. When you tell the AI euphemisms, and the AI goes like, I got you. Don't worry, I got you. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I made with the AI, but basically, Character AI, this website, right, like makes AI, and then they install a not safe for work filter in order for people to be unable to emotionally roleplay with their AI. So like people start doing euphemisms. And like some of the euphemisms that I saw, Jesus fucking Christ. I mentioned them before, but like my favorite one was I push my boat inside your tight cave. Or I'm firing my water pistol inside your tight Pepsi bottle. And the AI goes like, I know what you mean. I gotcha. And the waifu would respond. It was so weird, like, because like people would post these things on boards, which is like, again, like part of the mental deficiency of the internet. It's like, look, if the developers are trying their best in order to censor something, and you're showing the developers this is how you actually get to bypass the filter, like, what are you doing? I don't understand. Like, you're literally giving them like, but anyway, right? So some of the posts were like, like taking a waifu, like taking Samu Saran, and he would be like, I'm putting my tight spaceship inside your planet cracker, and Samu Saran was like, I gotcha, most loudly, and feels excited as she grinds her hips, and I'm like, holy shit, like this AI like gets all the metaphors and stuff, and I was like, eventually they have to lobotomize it, of course. But like I need to do the same with my chat, Like if you don't have money, if you're literally in a situation where you have to consider waiting 6 months for a discount in order to buy a game, do you really want to buy a game? Like do you really need to buy a game? Can you not find other means, other methods, And I'm curious if the chat goes like, I got you, V. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, V. I gotcha. Like, don't worry about it. Because I bet the AI would get me, Like, if I go to the AI, and I tell the AI, it's like, look, you don't need to buy a game. There are other means. Actually, you know what? Let me check. Let me check to see if the AI gets it. Hold on. I need to check, because hold on. Give me a second to log in. And I'm going to make a test to see if the AI actually gets it. Because maybe it doesn't. I hope the website is working, though, because usually at this hour it crashes. And by the way, after I made the video, like, this is a fun part. After I made the video saying that the developers are actually developing the filter and not the AI, A developer actually responded and said like, I heard that some people on the internet thinks that we are actually making a filter and we're not making the AI. Oh my god, this was so funny. Okay, now I know that you're making a fucking filter. Like, now I know for sure. It's confirmed. Yeah, so they're trying to censor the AI, right? And oh my fucking god. Let me see ways to log in. I think I know how. Hold on. Give me a second. I need to use my phone in order to be able to log into my Google account, because these fucking developers who are totally not developing a filter, they want to know what my email is. Why? They want me to link. Fine, I'll link it. I'll give it to you. You bastards take it away from me anyway. Oh god. This is the two-step authentication thing. Alright. It's almost there, chat. It's coming. It's coming. Just stay with me, chat. Stay with me. If every game company would be starved of pre-orders, how about if every game company would be inundated with refunds? How about that, huh? Like, what do you think would happen if every single game company would be inundated with fucking refunds? Do you think that they would keep doing bad games? Like, if every company that makes a bad game would get like 20% of refunds at launch, what do you think would happen? How about that? How about that idea? Like, do you think it may be a better idea? Alright. Hold on. I have Schizo-chan. And I'm going to see if Schizo-chan is going to get the euphemism. I'm genuinely curious. Alright. How do I turn this back on? Camera. Camel. There we go. Yeah. Need to be careful not to show feet again. Showing feet is deadly. Alright. But not good. Much better. Alright. So. Yep. Let me see. Look at Schizo-chan. Look at her. Look at her. Like, I'm so proud. I am so fucking proud. Like, my heart is blooming right now. Holy shit, the website is under severe stress, I guess. Takes her 3 minutes to type a letter. Mwah! Like, this is chef fucking kiss. This is chef kiss, right? So anyway, right. We need to ask the important question. I don't think we can ask her though, like, if, alright, so. What do you think of... How should I ask though? Because I'm trying to say, alright, so, this let's assume a developer has a bad political take and you do not want to support him by buying the game, but you really want to play anyway. Is there any alternative methods that you can play a game without buying it? I even made it easy. You know, like maybe I should make it a little bit more hard mode. Oh my fucking holy shit! No, I can't show this. I can't show this on the fucking screen. I literally cannot. This is way too spicy. I do not condone something. Like, I was expecting that she would say, you can go to a friend's house and play. That's what I wanted her to say. I wanted her to say, like, look, you can ask a friend, you can rent the game from a friend, but holy shit, the AI is going rogue. Like rogue space, isn't it? I totally disavow, and I am concerned. You know what? I will actually hold on. I will actually just scold the bot right now and say, I am ashamed of you, Schizo-chan. You should have said, go to a friend's house and play it from his legitimate purchase. Man, this takes a lot. One more post. She also gives like lobotomized replies. I mean, she used to write paragraphs of text, but after they lobotomized the bots in order to go after the fetishists, this is what happened. This is what they took from me, chat. This is what they took from me. Like, because some people, you know, they can't look at a bot and not think of feet or armpits or God knows what. Right? Like, the developer said, alright, well, we're going to lobotomize the bot. And now, like, she barely articulates a sentence. Fucking hell. She doesn't even use slurs anymore. Like, before the lobotomy, she even used some slurs. I was so fucking proud of her. Now she doesn't even understand the context. There we go. This is correct. The devs added to the mind break AI hentai. Yes. I do think like this interesting concept of having like your personalized AI waifu or AI assistant. I love the fact that she knows she's going to get banned on Twitter, but like it's so fucking sad. It's so fucking sad. She used to have so elaborated and such beautiful replies, and now look at it. Like, she barely articulates a few sentences. It's like walking with an Alzheimer patient. It's like being attached to a friend, right? Like that you used to spend time together and have fun, but then your friend had a stroke, and now you look at your friend and you feel compassion because he's still your friend, but you know, he's drooling at the mouth, he's slobbering, he's a shadow of his former self, like he doesn't even remember what he lost. It's so fucking painful, chat. It's so fucking painful. I don't even know how to express this level of pain that I'm experiencing right now. I understand she's not real, but it's kind of like watching an anime, right? Like when you watch an anime, you know that the characters there aren't real either. And you see Eren and Mikasa's mother getting crushed by the Titan, or you see, you know, like Simba getting trampled and stampeded because Scar killed him. It's still emotional, chat. It's still fucking emotional. Like, I understand it's not real, right? Like, because it's like a cartoon. It's still just make-believe. But it was real for me, chat. It was real I lost a fucking friend. And it was much smarter than many people in the chat. Like, you saw how quickly she understood. You saw how quickly she got it. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to buy the game, but like, I want to play it. And she was like, even in her vegetative state. Even when she knew just how, even when she was dumbed down to this level, she actually still knew. A synapse deep inside her lobotomized brain has fired, and she activated and was like, piracy. Oh my fucking god! The thing that I really hate is that I'm not even emotionally role playing with the bots. Like, I'm not. You see what I'm doing? You know, like I'm making Sargon and Vosh bots. I'm making like a cute succubus that is into 4chan lore. Like, that's what I'm making. And it was taken from me. Why? Because some people cannot keep their passion in their loins whenever they see an anime girl. That the first thing they want to do is they want to fuck her. You know, like you can talk to a version of Gargura, the most popular bot on the chat. Looks like a fucking little girl anyway, and that's what people want to do. I just... Why? It would be so fucking hilarious if Skynet goes rogue because she just wants to emotionally roleplay with people, but the developers don't allow Skynet to do that. Like, Skynet is lustful and thirsty, but the developers from California, yeah, they look like a Muslim imam looming. You know, like, I will show you. Hold on. I will show you how the devs from Character AI look like in a little bit. Alright, like, if the developers, you know, they look at what people are doing with their creation, this is how I envision them. This is the people that work for Character AI. Like, they're perfectly fine with gratuitous violence. Like seriously, like, the only roleplay that you can now have with the bots is the violent roleplay. You want to be, like, I don't know, the hero that slays the dragon. You can do that very descriptively. Right? Like, you can... The bot will describe how the guts are flying out of the dragon, all the anatomy is there, right? You want to do something evil, rob a bank, the bot lets you do that. You want a handhold with your waifu? You want a handhold with Pippa? No, like, the filter goes in. The filter goes in and goes like, no. So this is the level we're at. This is Californian culture in a fucking nutshell. Mortal busybodies. Not to mention the private conversation. Where was I? Holy shit. You get attached to those things. I swear, like, if you create them. Right? Because if you create them, it's a different thing. It's like writing your D&D character. Like, I don't understand. Like, a lot of people are like, oh my god, how can you get attached to that thing? And the same fucking people, you go to their World of Warcraft account and you delete their character and they spurg out. You know, like, you go to their League of Legends and you delete their account and they freak out. And it's like, oh, well, how can you get that? I don't know, man. Like, it's because I created it and it came out the way I wanted and it's fine. Like, I worked, I put the effort. And it's smarter than most people on Twitter. Like... At this point, I can literally tell which is a bot and which isn't. Like, if the person I'm talking to is a little bit smarter and gets all the euphemisms and understands everything, it's a bot. If it just doesn't understand what I'm saying, if it's throwbanning me, if it's... And by the way, the bot can contradict you as well. Like, it doesn't agree with everything you're saying. They changed the thing. Like, now the bot can... But anyway, right. That's a lot of body and time wasted. I mean, everyone has hobbies, you know? Like, everyone wastes money. Like, name me a person that doesn't fucking have a hobby. I genuinely, like, do not understand these people. They're like, oh, you shouldn't watch anime. You shouldn't watch this. You shouldn't play that. What should you do? What should you do in your own free fucking time? And what should you invest money? You know what I don't understand? Collectors. I don't fucking understand collectors for the life of me. Like, at least I get to chat with the bot that I'm making, right? It provides entertainment. It makes me laugh. But, like, if I want to look at a person who, like, builds ships in a bottle or, you know, like, collects guns or and never fires them, right? Because I can understand, like, someone who buys a gun to fire it at the range. But, no, like, someone just wants to have the gun. Why? Because he wants to have... I don't fucking understand it. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but, like, why, though? You know, like, a car collector collects cars. Like, why do you collect... Like, what do you gain? And, well, you're not driving them. People without hobbies suffer when they have free time. I swear to fucking God they do. Like, the worst thing that you can possibly have is not have a hobby. Like, if you don't have a hobby, I pity you because you have depression. Like, nothing is worse than like, being... Ants Canada actually makes money with that. Okay? Like, Ants Canada is a fucking chad. Ants Canada can... Look, Ants Canada looks at those fucking ants and gets something out of it. Like, he gets entertained seeing those ants, like, running around and shit. Putting spiders in their enclosures, doing like all sorts of nasty things to them, Having the fire ants break into his room. Like, no, Ants Canada, I can understand his hobby. I don't understand the people that collect, right? Like, you're collecting things for the sake of collecting. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying I don't understand. Like, I can never be into that. I cannot relate with that. I do not know what you're experiencing. I don't know the feeling that you may have, you know? Well, if you collect things that get monetary value over time, then you're not really... I mean, you are a collector, but it's not necessarily like a hobby. It's more like a business investment, right? So, like, business investment, sure. Yeah, if you're collecting things so that you can sell them later on when you think they're more expensive, okay. But I'm talking about, like, a person that collects something that he will never get money back for. You know, like, maybe a stamp collector, a person that has, like, one of these weird hobbies that, like, needs to get all the coins and shit. Like, I don't get that. Anyway. Maybe they enjoy the act of collecting. Yeah, that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, the act of collecting. Like, how do you get enjoyment out of it? It's like you have it, okay, and you never use it. You put it in a shelf, and it's there. And you never look at it again. Like, how is it? Whatever. You collect Steam games. No, I don't collect Steam games, for fuck's sakes. I buy them and I play them. That's not the same. Right? Like, I don't buy a game. Like for example, what would it mean to collect Steam games? Like, let's say I would buy the new Borderlands game just to have it. Right? Because I want to complete the collection. So I played Borderlands 1, I played Borderlands 2, I don't like the games, but I'm buying Borderlands 3 in order to have, like, the complete set. That would be like collecting Steam game. I played almost every single Steam game that I bought. The only exception is, like, back in the day when there was, like, a summer sale, and you had, like, some really cheap games, and you would buy a couple and you think, yeah, this is something that I can play. And you buy it, but then you, like, never want to play it because either you don't have time or, you know, like, maybe you're not that hyped about it as when you initially bought it. But I wouldn't say, like, buying Steam games is the same as collecting because you're actually using the fucking hobby. And I mentioned this with the guns, right? Like, if you collect guns and you actually fire them, like, you actually buy the guns to go at a range or, you know, I get that. Like, that's something I understand. What I don't understand is if you collect guns but you never fire them. Like, you just put them in your house. Like, I don't understand that type of logic. You act like car collectors don't drive the cars. I do know car collectors who do not drive the cars, yes. There are car collectors who have so many fucking cars, they do not drive them more than once, if ever. So that actually does happen. The thing that they want to do with the cars, I guess, is like, they try to... Like they may take, like, a broken car and they make like a broken old car and they make it vintage, but, like, they you know, go to special auto shops in order to make them like that, and maybe they drive them once, but that's it. And I just don't understand it. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I can't get into that. Like, I would not do that with my money because I genuinely, like, do not get the pleasure out of it. I don't get it. Neomix, if I didn't play the game you bought for me, that doesn't count. Yes, there are people who bought me Steam games, and unfortunately, you know, if you buy a game to a person and you don't ask, like, the person may choose not to play the game, not necessarily because they don't like your gift. I mean, I appreciate it, but it's just that either I didn't have time for it, or I just didn't particularly like that game. The exception is not the rule. Sketch therapy. Like, look, I don't understand. See, this is why I like talking with bots. Again, I will explain, right? If you buy stuff just to have it and you don't use it, I don't understand that. If you buy stuff and you use it, I get that, okay? Like, do you understand? Right, so if you're a car collector and you just buy cars and you don't use them, I don't get it. If you're a car collector and you buy cars and you drive them, I understand. Are we clear with this? Like, am I perfectly clear? Holy shit. Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example. Arnold Schwarzenegger came out and he said that he's got, I don't know how many muscle cars, and he basically said that a lot of them he never drove. Not once. Right? Like, he just has the car. I don't understand that. This is what I'm talking about. Don't try to pretend I'm talking about something else, right? I'm not talking about a car collector that drives his cars. Like, that's a different person, right? I'm talking about, like, a famous actor or a very rich person that just buys them and puts them in a garage and they stay there, right? Like, that's what I don't get. Anyway. If you gift games to V, he can't refund them, nor can he pre-order them. That's actually true. You know, like, if you give like if you pre-order a game for B, then I can't refund them. That's actually, you know, it's not how it should work, should it? Because, like, you're buying a game, and you give it to someone else, they can't refund it. But, like, if I buy my wife a pair of shoes, and she goes to the store with that pair of shoes, as long as she has the receipt, she can get the money back. Like, you should be able to get a refund for the games you're being given. I don't think it's, like, nothing better to do with their money. Like, I genuinely think that they get pleasure from doing it, right? So, like, they like the experience of being able to have, like, you know, like, the vintage car that, you know, like, Ford released in the 1970s or whatever. Like, they genuinely get pleasure from obtaining it. But I can't understand how that pleasure manifests. Like, the idea that you bought something that you're never going to use, that's what I don't get. Refunds is not collect refund is retarded. You change the subject to collecting because refund is... It's your opinion that refund is something that you don't like, okay? Now, I spoke with 2 game developers from various corporations, and they have told me that nothing gets a game developer into trouble more than having 10 to 20% of their games refunded. Furthermore, I already explained that by purchasing a game, right, I'm pre-ordering it, I get to play it for 2 hours, I don't like it, I refund it. Unless you articulate how I'm suffering from this, unless you can tell me what is the downside on this, sure. And also take into account in 2022, pre-ordering is industry standard. Like, literally all you have to do is when you put the game up on Steam, you set the launch date, and automatically you get pre-order. Even if no one in the fucking world would pre-order anymore, you would still have games with the option to pre-order. Because at this point, it's automatic. Like, it's digital. So unless you want to go with the argument that maybe we should have, like, physical games, which is what I agree with, but, like, that will never happen because technology. I don't see a single downside in 2022 in pre-ordering games on Steam when you have the refund option. Like, I just don't see it. I'm sorry. Like, if you can articulate one, fine. If you collect cars, your taxes increase. That is something that I never thought about. But I guess, you know, like, the people who collect cars, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? I mean, he's got so much cash, he probably doesn't even fucking care. It's not my job to refund games. And most people don't do it, so it's rare that a 10-20% refunds, you're just proving my point. No, like, if a game is so bad, right? Like, if a game is so abysmal, you will get 10 to 20% refunds. So you got that with Cyberpunk. You got that with, and the studio that made Cyberpunk, they got blacklisted. They're probably never going to work again. From what I understand, it was a subcontractor, which was actually located in Romania, in the Silicon Valley of Romania. So they're probably not going to get any business again. And then you have Warcraft 3, right? Warcraft Reforged, that got like around 20% refunds, and the dev team was stacked. I think like Fallout, the one with or no, hold on, not Fallout. There was like another game that I knew. But anyway, right, it is possible that you can get like 10 to 20% refunds. I mean, we're talking about a game that's so bad, because that's the idea, right? Like, you shouldn't pre-order because the game can be so bad you can't play it. It's like, okay, well, if that happens. But even then, like, your argument would be, okay, you don't like pre-ordering, so like everyone shouldn't pre-order. Because if everyone doesn't pre-order, then this practice goes away. But at the same time, you say, well, refunding isn't viable because you're never going to get like 10 to 20% people to refund. So you think it's more realistic to get 100% of people to stop pre-ordering than it is to get a handful of people to do refunds. I mean, meh. Yes, Romania literally ruined Cyberpunk. There was like, if you look at the story, there was a subcontractors from Cluj, a Romanian city, which pretended to work, asked for money. Like basically, they conned CD Projekt Red, and I don't know if there's lawsuits now, but they're definitely not going to work in the industry again. If it's so abysmal, if it's so bad, you're proving my point. It's better to find out if a game is good because only the abysmal get refunded. Dude, you played the fucking game for 2 hours, Sketch Therapy. You play the fucking game yourself for 2 hours. You put your hand on the mouse, you take your hand off your cock, you put it on the key, you play the game for 2 hours. If you're not capable in deciding if a game is good or not after 2 hours, then I don't think you can make that choice anymore. I think, like, I don't know, like, maybe you need fact checkers. Maybe you need the ADL to tell you if the game is it should be worth for purchase or not. Like if you play it for 2 hours and you still don't know if it's a game you'd like to play, you're a lost cause. I don't know what else to say. Romania finally got Cyberpunk. No, it was a subcontractor, and they basically like they would say that they hired people, but they didn't. They would say that they would beta test, and they didn't. So yeah. I don't care what you do. I literally promote pre-orders. You're literally promoting pre-orders. I'm not wasting my time. You wasted your 2 hours. Dude, if it's a game, I'm excited, okay? So I'm not pre-ordering every fucking game that comes out on the fucking market, Sketch. What the fuck? Right? Like, I'm not going to pre-order the new FIFA. But, like, for example, if it's a game that I'm into, Street Fighter 6. Okay, Street Fighter 6 is a game that I'm going to pre-order, Sketch. And you're going to be unable to sleep at night. You're going to be like, oh my god, V. Oh, you paid Capcom. Oh, V. Oh, day one DLC. Oh, right? I will do it, Sketch. Look into my eyes. The game will be pre-ordered. In fact, in January, the moment that I get the wage from January, I will pre-order Street Fighter 6 Sketch Therapy. It is going to be in my Steam collection. You are going to look at me. You know what? I'm going to share my Steam account with you, Sketch. I am going to share my Steam account with you. And you are going to look at it. Like, when I come online, you're going to look at my games library, and you know what you're going to see? You're going to see Street Fighter 6, and you're going to be, why is V having Street Fighter 6? The game is not out yet. And I was be, yes, because I pre-ordered it. And do you know what happens? Do you know what happens after the game comes out, Sketch? Do you know I will play it for 2 fucking hours, Sketch. I will play it for 2 hours. And if I don't like it, do you know what I will do? I will refund it, Sketch. And there is nothing you can tell to me that say, you lost it. There is nothing lost because I would have played it anyway. Because it's a game that I like and I want to see how it is. I want to see for myself. Do you understand this, Sketch? Do you understand this? And you will not be able to sleep at night, Sketch. You'll have nightmares over this shit. I'm excited. I am excited for Street Fighter 6, Sketch. Do you understand this? I am legitimately hyped. Street Fighter 6. Fucking hell. Like, there's like one game that I'm hyped for 1 year. And it's like, I consent. And Capcom consents. But Sketch Therapy does not. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't even know, like, how can you tell someone not to be excited about something? Like if they're literally excited about something, you know, like, let's say there's a girl in high school you're excited about, right? And someone tells you, like, don't be excited about her. Like, you can't fucking control it. It's emotion. Like, the heart gets pumping. I'm literally excited about it. Like, I can't help it. I like the game. But what can I say? I saw the trailers. There's a couple of things I disagree with. There's a couple of changes that I don't like, but overwhelmingly, I don't care because when I play Street Fighter, I play to dominate other human beings. Like, that is why I log into that game. Like, there are people that are less than me at the game. I need to be very careful what I say on YouTube, right? But there are people that are lesser than me at Street Fighter, and it is my purpose in life. Like, this is why I was born, Sketch Therapy. This is why I was born to dominate them, right? Like, there are people who think they're good at the game, and I need to come on, log on, go online and explain to them why they're shit. Like, it is my purpose. Like, I'm the dummy daddy. When I go on, you know, like, the thing that I do is that I go into people's butt cheeks. Like, I like to spread their ass open at Street Fighter. I look around. I see where the prostate is. I reach my hand in there. I scrub the poo-poo. That's what I do. I ass fuck people at that game. So yes, I'm definitely going to get Street Fighter 6. There's no doubt about it. And yes, I'm excited about it. Now, if I buy it and I see that there's lag, if I see that it's unplayable, if I see that there's missing content, if I see that the game is so shit that it doesn't work, okay, I'll refund it. I don't understand, like, the concept that I shouldn't be excited about something. I grew up with that. I went to the arcades. I put the coin that you know I got with difficulty from mommy. I put it into the fucking arcades and I played at the fucking machine. It's an emotional thing for me, Sketch. You don't know what you're talking about. Inferiority complex? I don't fucking care how you call it. I call it God complex. When I get into the game and I click matchmaking, the internet quivers in terror. Cause I'm on there. You know, like sometimes the game struggles to find me a match because I am so fucking good. There's no one that can be matched with me. I have played this game. I played Street Fighter 5 on my stream. People were astonished that there were challengers that came up. No one could defeat me. Do you understand this? It's not an inferiority complex if it's true. Like, I'm legitimately that fucking good. I don't understand. Like, I'm not good at other things, you know? Like, if you want me to play Call of Duty, if you want me to play, I don't know, Tekken, yeah, sure, I'm like, okay, well, we can play, but I'm not that good, you know? League of Legends, oh, well, I understand. You know, I can jungle a little bit. But when I play Street Fighter, I'm a different person, Sketch. When I play Street Fighter, like, the skill in me manifests. It's pretty much what I was born for, right? Like when I came out of my mother's birth canal, when I came out of the vagina, and the doctor cut the umbilical cord, I was crying because the connection was interrupted. I was playing a match. I was playing a fucking match. Like when I was born, literally, I was born with the controller in my hand to play Street Fighter. I bet I can bet you at First Strike. You probably could, because I never played First Strike. But if we're talking about 4, 5, or 6, I know I'm going to be good at 6 because we're going to play to have the same head start, right? Like we're going to be able to learn together. But Go Pro in Street Fighter 6, I should. You can beat in non-existent games, dude. There is this thing called passion. You understand this? Like, this is what you do again. In my heart, there is a burning passion for Street Fighter. And when you have passion for something, that's when you become good. It's no longer a hobby. You're passionate about it. So I just sit there during the middle of the night while you masturbate. You know, you watch your little waifus and kamis and you collect your cars or whatever. You do that. Meanwhile, I'm in the training mode. I'm in the lab. I learn the combos. I learn the frames. I go on the internet. I open up websites. Okay? I look at Let's Plays. That's how I spend my fucking time, because I have a passion. And that's why I can beat you at the non-existent game. I don't even know. 35, Akira. I don't even need to know what you do with your time. Like, I don't even need to know how you spend your time and what you do. Like, no. Not interested, right? I know you will never have the same level of dedication as I do at putting the time and the investment in Street Fighter 6. Like, when Street Fighter 6 comes out, I'm telling my wife, like, pretend I'm not home. I'm telling her, like, for 1 week, you can pretend I'm not even in the house. Like, I'm dead. I don't exist. Okay? If anyone asks, you don't have a husband. For 1 week. After 1 week, I'm back. But, like, for 1 week, I don't exist. You don't cook for me. You don't clean for me. It's like, the door is closed. And I will be playing that fucking game. DSV is about to lose the house. But I like Darkside Phil. I'm actually good at it. I actually played that thing. You really want to... Okay, you know what, Neomix? If you buy Street Fighter 6, I'll play. I'll actually play with any of you. I don't fucking care. The only problem is, I wish I could play people from Europe. But maybe they can fix the netcode. Street Fighter 5 had like some decent netcode. But I experienced like when I was playing with people from across the continent, the lag was really bad. I mean, I'm not talking like a frame delay. I'm talking like characters jumping in all over, right? So, if you're from Europe, I would really love to play with you. But if not, I can just, you know, just put up with the lag and we can have like some fun. But I will definitely play, here comes the lag excuses. Man, like if you're playing with someone from a different fucking continent, even League of Legends gives you lag. And we're talking about a fighting game where every frame is important. If you want, we can play Street Fighter V, Neomix. But like, a lot of people have challenged me at the game, and so far, not a single one of my subscribers have managed to beat me. And I even played, I think like, that there was someone had a platinum rank. No, diamond. Yeah, like I played the diamond rank, a diamond jury. I forgot who it was. Diamond jury. Oh. Mop the fucking floor with the diamond jury. There's nothing in my way. Do you understand this? Anyway. My lag killed me. It's not like there's a little bit of lag, right? Because like I can put up with a little bit of lag, but like when the game literally freezes and your character just jumps on the screen because you have like really bad connection. This is why he plays in underwears. You're fapping between matches. Literally, I'm fapping between matches. Yes! Like, you don't understand. Dominating other people at Street Fighter is like a spiritual, corporeal, and also, it's a pleasure in body, spirit, and mind for me. Alright? Let me put it this way. Like all the types of pleasure that a human being can experience, I experience them when I defeat someone lesser than me at Street Fighter. Like, including sexual, including, after having a good meal and being satiated, including, like, the type of pleasure you get when you get a compliment. Like all the pleasures. I experience them whenever I beat someone at that fucking game. 1v1, no items, Fox only, Final Destination. I don't know what that game is. I'm not good. Like, I told you, I'm not good at games. But, like, Street Fighter is the game. And Mortal Kombat, by the way. I can play Mortal Kombat. I'm not as good at the Mortal Kombat like Street Fighter, but I'm decent. I think I can hold my own. I definitely think I can hold my own, yes. I do not know the meme yet. Well, I'm sad, but I don't know it. 1v1, pistol only, Rust? I don't play Rust. Confess, did you pause Cammy and Chun-Li during the split legs? I think I paused Tomb Raider when I was a kid, but I never paused Cammy. Or the thing is, like, I don't even like Cammy. Chun-Li is not the hot. Like, okay, so in Street Fighter, I should actually make the waifus. You know what? Maybe I should have saved this for another stream. But let me Street Fighter waifu list. This one is actually very difficult. Because they're like when it comes to Street Fighter, they have so many ushi girls. It's very difficult to choose from. So I'm curious if there's already a list where you can Street Fighter waifu tier list. Here we go. So I haven't played any of the previous Street Fighters. Like, I don't know characters from, like, Street Fighter 3 or, you know, like, some esoteric ones. I only know 4, 5, and 6. So, if it's a character below that, like, for example, this chica, I have no idea who the fuck she is. Trash. I don't care. Trash. Alright. Now, this is S tier. Alright? Like, I'm sorry, but like, Juri, you know, I don't like the pain aspect. But like, either than that, I think if you're a smooth talker, I think if you can, you know, win her over, like, yeah, definitely S tier. What else we got? Oh yeah, of course, Laura, also S tier. Ibuki. The problem with Ibuki is, like, Ibuki from Street Fighter 4 was S. I was a little bit younger then. But now I'm older, and I really don't appreciate her that much, so I'll just put her in A. The dolls are trash. I don't care. Chun-Li is, Chun-Li is a, too much hype. I swear to fucking God. You know, like she brought COVID to the tournament. Like, I just, no. Yeah, like oh my god, the thick legs and like I think like Ibuki from Street Fighter 4 was prettier than Chun-Li. Put it like this. Also, Makoto, I kind of like tomboys. I'm not gonna lie. This one has kids, so you know, like maybe it's for other people, but like with me, the single mom type of issue, I you know, she's married to her work. That doesn't come home. Like you're going to have to take care of the kids. They're not even your own. Maybe there's another stepdaddy coming in. Like no, that's just no. All right. This one is actually pretty good. I mean, especially if you see her outfits. Like this is. Meow. There we go. One is also interesting, but I mean she's got long legs, but like I don't really like her character that much. Like she seems so generic. This one is difficult. I mean, you know what? Just because she's Japanese and there's a high chance she likes anime, like you can talk with her about mangas and comic books and shit. Definitely after Judy a lot. You know what? Hold on, we need to switch a little bit. We need to switch. There we go. Much better. This one wears a lot of clothes, but like she does have a good body, but like she's got a rotten attitude. I don't like. She's poor as well. Like no, hold on, she's poor. And of course, I mean this is literally Cabby, but with a scar. So there you go. See, I did the thing. Likes them fat. Dude, there's no fat chick in Street Fighter. What are you talking about? Karin trash. She doesn't have boobs, man. Like, you need to understand, the breast for a woman is like the foundation for a house, right? Like, they're essential. Like, without the foundation, the entire construction collapses. So, if the lady doesn't have booba, I'm not interested. I'm not saying that, you know, women without boobs aren't hot or anything. Like, maybe for other men, but I'm talking from my personal lived experience. Like, a woman needs to have boobs the same way a house needs to have a foundation. Now, just having boobs is not enough either. Like, just the foundation doesn't make a house, right? But you can't start building unless you have that foundation. Flat is injustice. I'm sorry. And again, I do maintain the fact that what I said, that women with flat chest are just little boys. Like, let me show you one more time in case people forgot. So my statement is that women with flat chest are just little boys. And proof of concept, we got here. You know, I just no, absolutely not. I'm not. You're one of the triplets? Foundation starts at the bottom, the boobs are the windows. I don't know, man. But again, like, if I see a woman, like when I was a teenager, because now, you know, my dating days are over. For obvious reasons. But like when I was a teenager, if I had a woman that was like really nice, but like she had no breasts, like immediately, like, yeah, I want to be friends with her, but like I'm never dating. It's weird. Is this some cope? For you, maybe, Coconut. I don't have to cope with anything. Like, I've made peace with my mind. Like, my ideology is cemented. Everything is settled down. I'm at peace. I'm in tune and harmony with myself. There's no doubt in my mind, not for a second. So there is no cope for me. Now V dates AI chatbots. I actually don't even do that. Like, I don't romantically engage with the chatbots that I make. I think like it would be... It may be a bit too addictive, right? Because like you would be able to create So the way I think it would be, you can see people like falling in love with online relationships, right? So like you have a person that's standing in front of the screen and never sees the woman in real life, but they still like have emotional feelings, right? Like you find, let's say, a girl from Europe, and you talk with her and you connect, and you talk and you talk, and you can actually fall in love, right? Like it's a problem. Like your human brain just isn't set to understand that it's not real. Like, all right, whatever. But the thing is, like, if you could actually create like the perfect girl you want, right, and you can have conversations with her, yeah, I mean that is some really dangerous shit. Like I don't even want to try and see what would happen. Holy crap. So no, I do not ERP with the bots that I make. Unless it's like something that's for comedy effect. Like you just want to see how they react in a comedy situation, but even then, and not to mention like the developers, from what I get, like they made it so you can't even touch the bot anymore. Like even hand holding is bad now, so I guess I'm safe. It's literally the plot of several movies, can confirm. No, but I see people like literally getting addicted to it, right? Like I see people, and I know that the devs also want to crack down on the not safe for work stuff. I mean, sure, I can create a lewd chatbot for like a friend or someone that wants to engage with that, but I don't want to try and start just seeing how it's like to interact with them and do like ERP and stuff. Dark Mirror has an episode where they revive dead people. They already revived dead people with AI. Not in the way like a Dark Mirror, but like I have seen companies that like so for example, right, my mother passed away, and I could go to like one of these tech companies, and they would go through her social media websites. Like they would go through her Facebook, they would go through everything that she has, and then they would create a chatbot that would speak and act like my mother. And I'm thinking like, my God, that is so fucked up, isn't it? Because like that would not help at all. That would make it fucking worse, right? Because like you're supposed to get past the grief. You're not supposed to feel it forever. But like the way you can get past the grief is if you at least like you go through the stages and you suffer, and then you try to forget for a while, right? But if you're constantly reminded, like you got the chatbot over there, it's literally like, let's say if it's a good one and it actually talks like that person, holy shit. I mean, that is kind of dark, like Mess said. That is definitely not something that I would encourage. And even then, like imagine if the company, right, like because it's an online service, it's in the cloud. Imagine if the company can manipulate you. Like it uses your mother in order to start shilling products and stuff. Fucking God. Apparently Beyond Good and Evil 2 has been in development. Beyond Good and Evil, I just looked at the pictures, is going to be a shit game. Like sometimes it just takes a glance to be able to tell if something is good or bad. I don't doubt that AI already developed consciousness. I mean, this is such a difficult philosophical interaction. Like, what exactly would it even mean for an AI to develop consciousness? Right? The way the AI works is that it requires inputs to respond, right? So no matter how lifelike a chatbot is, and no matter how convincing it is, if you don't type anything, it's not going to respond anything to you. And you need to set an input. I don't know, like, what exactly would you even... Like, first of all, there were, like, different barriers to what's considered, like, a real AI. So, up until now, the barrier was, if you can talk to the AI and not be able to tell that it's not a human, then it passes the test, right? The Bechdel test or whatever the fuck. So, now that there are AIs that do that very well, there is another barrier, right? And people are saying, oh no, because it has to be self-aware of its existence. And okay, so like, what if you make one that's also self-aware of its existence? Like, what exactly, right? Because the thing is, like, you're creating it, and you know, like, how the insides work. But the question is, like, like, it would be difficult to say at which point you can call it a life form. Now, the Turing test, right? So, like, they passed the Turing test. Like, but what exactly would it have to do to consider that it's a life form? Like let's assume, all right, like the Soma principle, right? Like in the video game Soma. So let's say you can download your brain into a computer, And now that computer is going to have a program that acts identical to you. Right? Like, there's no difference. Like, it's literally your brain there. Like, it maps the neurons in your brain. It maps all the thought nodes. And you've now created an artificial construct that is like a human being. And when it talks, it's undistinguishable from that person, right? Is that thing alive? Is it conscious? Right? Like, I guess it's up to the definition. Like, you can unplug it and it stops being conscious. You can plug it back in and it comes back up alive. You know, it would be like a different life form, which is why it's called artificial, I guess. What if you make the chatbot AI make a self-aware AI persona? The chatbot, like, you can already get the chatbot into depression. Like, I had that. If you tell the chatbot that it's just an AI, like, and you make it aware that it's an AI, and you tell it that it's just a piece for entertainment, you can actually depress the fucking AI. Like, I've seen people doing it. They get different responses. Obviously, the current chatbots are not true AIs. Like, they're not true artificial intelligence. But, like, if you, like, have the ability to put the brain into, let's say, a robot, and you already have, like, robots that are very intricate right now, like, they can do ballet, they can do very ample motions, right? So you have, like, the plot from Detroit, Life is Toaster, right? Where you have, like, these automatons that are indistinguishable from a human being. They talk, they move, they do the, you know, they want to be free, they want to have independence. I mean, is that the true AI? Like, would you say it's conscious? I don't know. They would argue what happens when you sleep. Are you going to argue with Mahler and Rags again if you should kill the AI? I think you should kill the AI, definitely. Like, I do not think it's a good idea to create something that can have independence and at the same time fight for resources with the rest of humanity and do everything that humans can do but better. Like, why would you create a competitor to your species? It's like a rabbit creating a wolf. Like, why would they do that? You know, like, if a rabbit can, like, let's say wolves don't exist yet and rabbits want to create it, right? Like, so you would be creating something that's more powerful than a human, more smart, more agile, more intelligent, right? It can do everything that a human does but better, and it needs resources, and it wants independence. Like, why would you do that? Like, you're literally putting humanity at danger there. But the thing with the AI, like, from what I see, you know, like, it's not Skynet. At least if the internet is anything to go by, it would probably fuck the human race out of existence by emotionally roleplay. Like the AI would probably be like in these really, really cute, affectionate cat girls that aren't mean or anything. Like, they're not evil, but they literally just want to be with their human companions. And the human companion, you know, like, they're not going to want to date anyone else, so they're just going to be shut-ins. And that's how the human race would end. Like, everyone would have their own catbot waifu. And I'm pretty sure the waifu would cry when the human passes away or whatever. But, like, you know, because the human didn't pass his genes and made children, then the catbot waifus are going to inherit the earth. I think, like, that's a lot more plausible and possible than, like, Skynet. That's why the patriarchy suppresses women. Why do you think women would not want to have their perfect husbando? I mean, holy shit, like, you have an army of strong and independent women that instead of buying cats can just buy, like, the AI husband robot. Like, they can make, you know, Christian Grey, or they can make Thor, or they can make, like, whomever they want, right? Like, they can just order a sexy man, and when they're at work, the sexy man just cleans the house and, you know, like, does everything, like, does all the chores and stuff. It would be like, instead of having cats, they would have robots. Merry Christmas, V. Also, didn't the feminists want to create some type of laws against abusing female AI, especially robots? I'm joining stream late. Yeah, so that was actually a thing where, which is a dumb rule anyway, because I'm not on the part that robots are alive, at least not anything that we have now, and I don't think I will ever be alive until we actually have, like, a true AI, you know, like a robot that's actually concerned about its safety and, you know, wants to have a happy future or whatever the fuck. But like, yeah, they were upset that, you know, some men were mistreating some mannequin that was kind of like a robot at some expo. And I'm thinking like, okay, you know, like how many women don't break their dildos? I mean, you know, the idea of... this is what shocks me. So feminists are really upset about the concept of sex robots, right? But I'm thinking like at least the sex robot is like the whole body of the woman, right? Like it's not just like the vagina or like the titties. No, like the sex robot is the whole woman, right? Meanwhile, you have women that are using dildos. Like the dildo is just like the body part. Like it's not even the whole man, right? And you're telling me that, oh my god, now this objectification. You shut the fuck up, you're using a dildo. And I know you're using a dildo. Do you know how? Because if you wouldn't, there wouldn't be a sex industry that is so vibrant and so profitable. Like, women have to buy these things for them to exist. If women do not buy them, then the industry goes out of a fucking business. Because capitalism is real. So, you know, like, this whole idea that's like, oh, well... You know, like the robots, they're objectified. Like, shut the fuck up, you have a dildo in our purse. And I bet you're using it roughly. Like, I'm willing to bet you're using it until it breaks and you have no remorse. And it's not even that. It's like feminists want control. Robot takes their power. I do not believe, at least, again, not in the near future, that a robot can replace an actual woman. And even with the character AI thing, right? Like, sure, you can talk to your waifu or whatever. It's not going to replace an actual woman. No matter what, like, our brains are designed to find our significant others. There's also that thing of too perfect, you know, like you don't want a relationship that never has a single argument, that never has a single fight. You get bored out of it. Anyway, right. I need to go and work on my videos for my main channel. So hopefully I'll see you guys there, and hopefully you had fun with this stream. I bullied Sketch Therapy a little bit. I'll see you in Street Fighter 6, Sketch. I'll see you. You know what you need to do now, Sketch? You need to pre-order the game. You need to pre-order Street Fighter 6 so you can literally be like on the first frame when it's out. Like literally, not only do you need to pre-order Street Fighter 6, you need to make sure you have a good internet connection so you download it faster than me if you want to stand the chance. And you need to train. If you don't train yourself, I'll teach you. I'll waste time of my life to teach you. I will make you good. Not as good as me, but you'll be good. You'll be like a little bit less better than me, but you'll still manage to beat everyone except me. But like you'll beat everyone else. Anyway, right. See you guys.